The Mario & Luigi series has become the target of criticism after its recent entries, Mario & Luigi Dream Team and Mario & Luigi Paper Jam. Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga plus Bowser's Minions comes 14 years after the original GBA title, and a mere 4 months after its official reveal back at E3 2017. Does Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga plus Bowser's Minions truly take the series back in a positive direction? This remake of Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga stays true to the original game in terms of its plot. The evil bean witch Cackletta and her underling Fawful have stolen Princess Peach's voice, and are attempting to take over the Bean Bean Kingdom. Setting off to stop them and retrieve Princess Peach's voice, Mario, Luigi, and Bowser go to the Bean Bean Kingdom, where all sorts of trouble ensues, bringing the Mario Bros into many strange, humorous scenarios. While the game sees some small changes here and there, such as a minor character or two being replaced or some new dialogue lines, the bulk of the story of Superstar Saga remains the same. Things are newer when we turn over to the other mode of the game, Minion Quest to search for Bowser. In this mode, players start off by taking control of a lone Goomba, separated from the rest of Bowser's minions when the Koopa Cruiser exploded. He then makes it his quest, with the help of some other Goombas looking for someone gullible to take charge, to unite the minions to find and save King Bowser. The problem with this, however, is that Fawful is brainwashing all of the minions, and the only way to save them is to beat them. This mode has a decently interesting story, which isn't more complex than the average Mario story. It ties well into the plot of Superstar Saga, even explaining how Bowser went from being launched from a cannon to becoming Popple's amnesiac sidekick, Rookie, something fans have wondered for 14 years now. Best of all, it gives us even more character interactions that fit right in with the rest of the writing of the Mario & Luigi series. Though oftentimes they don't add to the plot of this mode, the minions will run into various characters first encountered by the Mario Bros in Superstar Saga. The purpose behind this seems to clearly give these characters some new lines and more appearances, though some, such as Prince Peasley, are used to reference the main plot of Superstar Saga. Ever wondered how Prince Peasley ended up inside that piranha bean? You may want to check out Minion Quest to search for Bowser. The Mario & Luigi series have faced criticism in recent games due to some increased complexity and lengthy tutorials. Thankfully, I can say that this isn't the case in Superstar Saga plus Bowser's Minions. When you do get a tutorial for each new ability that you get, each is relatively quick and easy, just as it was in the original game. The gameplay is not just copied exactly from the original game, however, and as many elements of later Mario & Luigi games, namely Paper Jam, have been incorporated. In the overworld, pressing the X button allows for both bros to jump at the same time. Especially when having to use other actions repeatedly, this option is useful, as it allows players to quickly keep moving rather than constantly change abilities with the L and R button. The X button is also used in battle for the Emergency Guard, which minimizes the damage received, but obviously isn't as good as a full-on dodge or counterattack. The double jumping and hammer mechanics from later Mario & Luigi games are also present, which leaves the game familiar for those who have more recently played the later games in the series. The biggest change from the original game, and the most notable updates to the gameplay, come from the fact that the game now has 2 screens like every other game in the series. The 3DS touchscreen is fairly useful. During battle, it displays the stats of both bros, including any changes that may occur, such as status inflections. When selecting moves, including the various bros moves, it allows for a tutorial of the attack, as well as just practice for it, which I found myself using as well to perfect the new bros moves. In the overworld, the touchscreen can be used for 2 things, being the mini-map and another tool to swap abilities. While it's useful to have each of the different abilities available at the touch of a button, I still found myself preferring to swap with L and R, as I like having the mini-map available to me at all times. The touchscreen is also used on the pause menu to access the various sections, as the top screen displays the map of the Bean Bean Kingdom and the Bros Passports. Overall, the gameplay of Superstar Saga is very smooth, and plays like a wonderful adaptation of the original game, while adding in new elements and updates to old mechanics that made the gameplay feel just right. The gameplay of Minion Quest to search for Bowser is interesting on the other hand, as there isn't too much of it in comparison to Superstar Saga. Before entering a battle scenario, you choose a team that's most likely to win. There's a rock, paper, scissors sort of power triangle. Melee units best ranged units best flying units, and flying units best melee units. Players are tasked with making a team that's most likely to beat each given scenario, which can have a balance of enemies, or a lack of balance that heavily favors one enemy unit type. While new units are constantly recruited, it's encouraged even within the game itself to revisit old scenarios to level up weaker units. Once you make your team and enter a battle scenario, it becomes very cutscene heavy, such as advancing any dialogue that comes up before the actual battle phase. During actual battles, players can use a touchscreen or D-pad to use captain skills, such as Deny, which stops an enemy from using their special attack, or Rally, which increases the allies' spirit and makes them perform better. There are some other pretty interesting captain skills, but I'll leave those as a surprise. During battles, players also have special attacks, though they occur randomly. When they are triggered, the character performing the attack becomes the focus, and an A button action command is given, which can perform OK or excellent, much like the action commands in the Mario Bros. While there isn't much hands-on gameplay in Minion Quest, it is important to pay attention, as that can make or break a battle. There does seem to be a lot of RNG thrown into the mix too, as sometimes I've simply retried a battle after losing without changing anything, and I'll end up just as close as the last time, yet manage to luckily pull through. Overall, the gameplay of Minion Quest as Search of Bowser is fun, and thought-provoking, and it's easy to learn. I personally felt the wins were pretty satisfying too, but I can completely understand complaints that there is a lot of sitting and waiting around for actions. The Mario Luigi series have gone through several art style changes over the years, but has seemingly found its anchor in the art style of Mario Luigi Dream Team, as it appeared relatively unchanged in Paper Jam, and yet again here. And that's completely okay. The Beaming Kingdom has never looked more beautiful. The world looks gorgeous at times, and I would argue far better than anything from Paper Jam or Dream Team. In addition, seeing all of the characters and enemies from this land with so much more animation just makes them all feel so much more alive. Many people have complained that the cartoony effect from the original game is gone, but I have to disagree with them. I think the Mario and Luigi series simply evolved how they were using the cartoony effect to make it blend better with the rest of the Mario universe. The game still features fun, exaggerated interactions, such as Prince Peach's signature hair flip and Luigi sitting down for a spot of tea. The same can be said for Minion Quest. The writing in it is just as strong as the rest of the game and the series as a whole. I find myself often laughing at the antics the various captains found themselves getting into. Extra appearances from characters such as Sledge and Mallet, who made the Mario Bros. And Hammers, give us more writing and action to these various characters from the Beaming Kingdom. Both Superstar Saga and the Minion Quest side mode are polished fairly well, having nice and clean menus, gameplay, graphics, and UI. The only real graphical problem the game has is the fact that it does not support 3D, which is disappointing, as the 3DS was fairly decent in the previous two games. The music in the game is a very nice upgrade from the original GBA game, with the new original pieces in Minion Quest fitting nicely with the rest of the series. Even now, I find myself still going back to listen to several songs from this game, instead of the GBA original. There's even a music player in the game itself, with most songs unlocking as you hear them for the first time in the game, while some are hidden, scattered throughout the Beaming Kingdom to be found in blocks. There are some changes made to the game's presentation from its original that bothered me a bit, however, but most of these are fairly minor. Most people have already complained about the starting area outside of Peach's castle having just different colored toads, instead of the ones of various shapes, sizes, and colors. While this did catch my eye, I noticed it most annoyingly prominent in Little Fungi Town, an area visited about halfway through the game. Originally, there were many different toads of shapes, sizes, gender, color, and age depicted. In this game, however, nearly every toad has another generic 1 of 5 colored toad, yet the dialogue stays the same as the original game. The obviously children toads look exactly the same as the obviously parent toads. The only differences are the Dr. Toad, Dr. Toadley, and this one oddly specific toad wearing an apron. This is probably the biggest change that bothered me about the game, but it isn't something that I hate the game for, though it really makes this area of the game a lot more bland than it should be. Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga plus Bowser's Minions sticks very true to its roots of the original Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga, while doing a fantastic job of giving us extra with the Minion Quest mode. Both modes play well and are easy to jump into. Minion Quest is definitely a nice change of pace from the original Mario & Luigi format, so if you ever get tired of the bros, make sure to check this not-so-little mode starring a Goomba. The updated soundtrack is great, and the new songs added for the new mode are also just as great. The game looks really nice, and I think this is probably my favorite looking Mario & Luigi game to date. As someone who, despite really loving this series, was feeling burnt out on it by the time Paper Jam released, I really loved my time with Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga plus Bowser's Minions. Perhaps it's the return to the classic gameplay and mechanics that did it for me. Either way, it revitalized my love for the series, and while I have a few gripes with it, I believe it's a must-play for any fan of the Mario & Luigi series. I have to give it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Thank you guys so much for watching this review. If you liked it and you want to see more reviews, make sure to like and subscribe to Source Gaming. You guys can find me, Tris, in the links in the description below, or over my Let's Play channel WiiHii, where I'm currently uploading my playthrough of this game. Thank you guys for watching.